Hey, what's up? My name is Eric Young. I'm the founder and CEO of Pitch IQ, and I wanted to give you a 5 minute breath work routine that you can use to slow the game down, to help control your heart rate, and create a repeatable in game reset should you need one. And that reset, like I mentioned, could be to slow the game down, but you can also conversely use it to ramp yourself up. If you're feeling lethargic, it's hot out, or it's just generally a bad day and you got to get up for your game or get up in between innings because your first inning was terrible and you just pitch yourself out of a jam and you got to raise your level of play, you can use it conversely for that objective as well. So that being said, we have three different use cases. One would be a pre-throw or a pre-pitch uh, breath control. So you could implement this as part of your pre-pitch routine. The second use case would be after a bad pitch, after you kind of give it up, after you spray one off the backstop or give up a triple or whatever the case may be, and that'll help you during you're going to step off, take your breath, reset, and go. And what I want to identify and work on right here is the third use case, which is between innings, right? A 3 to 5 breath reset where you have 2, 3, 4 minutes at your disposal. You're not racing to launch the next pitch. You have some time on your hands where you can really gather yourself and get back to business. A couple things to keep in mind here, like we don't want this to be like yoga class, right? We are baseball players, we're baseball coaches, and we want to keep it as such. So just keep that in mind. And another thing to keep in mind is if your breath is held up in your chest, you've already lost control of the moment. We are not looking for chest breathers or mouth breathers per se. We're looking for nose breathers and belly breathers. And another thing to keep in mind is that this is part of your mental routine. This is not something that you can just show up and expect to just happen for you and be a part of your arsenal. This is something you have to work on, just like you're working on your curveball, or you're working on your delivery, or you're working on throwing program. This is something that you need to implement into your everyday strategy in throwing program. And remember, you're going to be throwing 6, maybe 7 days per week, especially if you're in the Pitch IQ program. So you're only pitching once a week, maybe on a Friday night, and you're throwing a pen maybe on a Tuesday. What about the other 5 days per week? Plus your throwing programs before your games. You're getting 6 or 7 throwing sessions in per week where you're conditioning your arm. Well, we also need to be conditioning our mind as well. And breath work is a big, big component in that. Okay, so let's frame this a little bit before we get into the actual nuts and bolts here. We're taking about 20,000 breaths per day, and most of them suck, right? We're breathing out of our mouth, we're coming up into our chest. Well, that's the whole idea here. We want to leave the chest behind because that is indicative of a stressed state, right? The best players in the world, they're using their breath to control the moment. And the way they do that is controlling their breath through their belly. And it's no different than throwing program, right? You have to control the space during throwing program. You have to control your mind during your breathing program. It is a skill. So let's take advantage of, you have 20,000 breaths per day. Like I was saying, I don't know how many you're making during the course of a game, maybe 5,000 during the course of a game. Well, if you can make 5% of those better, if you can take advantage of just a little chunk, you're going to see ramifications further down the chain, further down in your career. That in other words, you're going to be building bullets that you didn't even know you had. And I'm not talking about bullets, I'm talking about mental bullets. Okay, so let's get into it. We're going to have 3 or 4 different parts. They're each going to run about 30 to 60 seconds, give or take. You can extend this for as long as you want each section, or keep it as short as you want. And I do recommend working on a shorter version because obviously when you're out on the mound, you're not going to have the luxury of having 30 to 45 second, 60-second chunks to work on this. You've got 3 seconds between pitches to get something accomplished. And especially if you're in college or in professional baseball, you have that pitch clock going at all times. You maybe have like 1 or 2 seconds, bang, you got to get an inhale and an exhale in. So just think about as we're working through this, once you're done, think about different ways to speed up this process. But for purpose of this, we're going to extend this out to kind of just give you a general idea. Okay. So, first part is all about resetting and bringing awareness to yourself. So, find a nice, comfortable position. Hopefully, you're sitting in a chair. Sit up straight. You don't have to, you don't have to be sitting at attention like you're in the military or anything. But we don't really want you slouching either. Just find a nice, comfortable, relaxed position with your hands on a table, just like this. You might want to tap, which is what I'm going to be doing here in a sec. But you want your feet grounded, and you just want to be nice and relaxed. Okay, so let's go ahead and close our eyes for a second. Just shut down your eyesight and bring your attention inward. Okay, don't worry about your breath at all. Just close your eyes, bring your attention inward, and just kind of notice where you're at right now. Where are you tight? Okay, don't change anything yet. Just observe. Okay, we're just looking for awareness before we're trying to control anything. Where are you tight? How do you feel? What's going on in your mind a little bit? Just bring some awareness and bring your attention inward. Okay, so now just notice your natural breath for a second. And don't force it. Just kind of feel it moving in, feel it moving out. And as you become more and more aware of it, are you breathing through your mouth? Are you breathing through your nose? Are you breathing through your chest? Are you breathing through your belly? Just notice it. What's your natural default? What's your natural state? Just feel it moving in and out. Don't force it. No rhythm, no count, just natural. All right, just connect to your natural breath. Now, first step. Let's bring some air in through the nose, no counting, just in through the nose, out through the nose. So close your mouth, in through the nose, out through the nose, and just your natural cadence. Now bring the breath down into your belly. So on the inhale, feel your stomach expanding. Keep it out of your chest. The chest equals stress. The belly equals control. So inhale through your nose, down into your stomach, and exhale out the same way, contracting your belly. Inhale through your nose and expand your belly. Exhale through your nose and contract your belly. Inhale through your nose and expand your belly. Exhale through your nose and contract your belly. Do it one more time. Inhale through your nose and expand your belly. Exhale out of your nose and contract your belly. Okay, now just bring it back to your regular cadence. Eyes stay closed. And now we're going to control this a little bit more with a little bit of a count. It's going to be a 5 count in and a 5 count out. All right, ready? Here we go. Inhale through your nose, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale through your nose, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale through the nose, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale through your nose, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, nose, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, nose, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, nose, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, nose, 3, 4, 5. Slow it down. 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't force it. 2, 3, 4, 5. Repeat it. Sink into your seat. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, with your eyes closed, just come out of it, return to your natural breath, and just notice, take some stock. Where's your heart rate? Is it a little bit lowered? Is it higher? Hopefully it's a little bit lower here. Notice it. This is all about controlling or creating control while you're under pressure. Okay, now we're going to add in a final portion here, which is going to be a pause at the top and a pause at the bottom with the same cadence of in through the nose, pause, out through the nose, pause. Okay, ready, go. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, 2, 3. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, 2, 3. Inhale, nose, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, 2, 3. Exhale, nose, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, 2, 3. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, 2, 3. One more time. We're going to pause at the top and hold it again. Notice where you're at on those in-betweens when you're during those pauses. Pay attention to where your mind goes, where your focus is at. Stay relaxed, belly breathing in and out through your nose without tensing up. Ready? Go. Inhale, nose, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, 2, 3. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold, 2, 3. Okay, return to your normal breath cycle. No cadence. We're going to do one last thing. We're going to take a silent breath to finish it. It's the last breath we're going to take. There should be no sound, no force. It's going to be a 5-second inhale and a 5-second exhale, slow and controlled. Controlling the exhale is the most important part of this because that's where you're going to find the calmness and the stillness is in the exhale. Okay? One last silent breath, no noise, set, go. Good job. Now you can open your eyes. And really what this is all about is helping you reset. It's to kind of find an anchor in between innings, specifically in between innings. You're not going to have, that took probably four or so minutes to do. You're not going to have that kind of time, obviously, during an inning. But in between innings, you can reset, you can re-anchor. It doesn't matter if you've had a good inning or a poor inning. just let your breathing kind of bring you back to your normal space. Nose is where it's at, in through the nose, out through the nose, because you have a limited ability to bring air in and out because it's a smaller orifice than your mouth. And it also helps drive the air down into your belly, which is where we want it. You want to notice how you feel. You want to take stock of where your thoughts are. You want to still be alert. And when the game speeds up, at any point, you can come back to this. If you want to get the game to if you want to get amped up a little bit more, there's other sorts of breathing techniques, and we can walk you through those as well. But just remember a couple things here. You're taking 20,000 breaths per day, right? And again, most of them are terrible. All right. And they're stressed out. They're going through the chest. They're not going through the nose. And in fact, probably 19,575 of them, or whatever, the ones that we didn't do today on this training, um, those ones are going unnoticed. That it's unconscious breathing. And those are the ones we want to, at certain points during the day, find time to work on a skill like this. You can do it when you're driving in your car. In fact, you heard me tapping on this desk right here. You can tap on your steering wheel when you're driving. Tapping is a big part of some of the things we do as well in Pitch IQ. And if you have any questions about that, just reach out and we can set you up with something. But just remember, there's really three different use cases here. Okay, I walked you through use case number 3, which is in between innings. But there's also a pre-pitch routine breathing technique, and there's also a post-pitch routine breathing technique to help you get recentered. So if you have any questions, please reach out. I hope you found this useful, and take care.